Alright, bro. This is going to be the most valuable video you watch. If you're a young man that's truly about it, you want to win, you want to cultivate success, you want to retire your family, be a man that's accelerated in all areas of life as you get older, then this video is going to give you the breakdown. It's going to give you somewhat the path as well. And I wish I had a video like this when I needed it, bro. I really didn't have one like this, and it caused this immense amount of pressure and me feeling like I was never going to amount to anything. I'm going to put a word on the board, and you're more than likely going to disagree with this. You are. I want you to think about how your life has been to this day. Think about it, bro. Because you're more than likely going to disagree with this. Your life, for the most part, has been easy. Now, I get it. We go through ups and downs, right? Something happens. We might lose a family member, go through a heartbreak, things happen. Our lives are ups and downs. But this world that we live in, right, bro? Pretend this is the earth, right? The world that we live in has become immensely easy. And I know what you're saying. Oh no, Chris, your life has just been easy. Mine's been hard. My life has never been easy, bro. And I'm still telling you and coming on here to say that my life has been easy. Crazy that I can say that, right? Because I grew up in the ghetto. Extremely poor. My father was an abusive alcoholic that left my family. We were so poor growing up, we needed to get charities to give us food. We still didn't have dinner some nights. I was a drug addict. I've lost my family members to drugs. I want you to understand something, bro. If you were to really see a glimpse of what my childhood was like with the family problems I had, you'd poo your pants. You wouldn't be able to comprehend it. And I'm still telling you and coming on here saying that my life has been easy. You know why? Because even though I didn't know better, I got to choose to use drugs. I got to choose to do the degenerate and bad things with my friends. I got to choose. You get to choose to sit at home all day and play video games and jack off and worry about how many likes your Instagram post got and be so concerned about other people's opinions. You get to choose. And you know why? Because, like I said, the world we live in is easy, but if you go back 80 years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, right? Depending on the color of your skin, you could or couldn't do something. Young men our age, even younger, were being shipped off to war, not ever coming back to see their families, and they were 18 years old. But you know what? Life back then might have been hard, but you know what that created? It created a generation of strong men. And if you look at the older generation now, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they look down upon our generation as a bunch of sissies. They're lost. They can't even fathom how weak we are. We've literally been labeled the weakest generation ever of young men, of men to exist. Our generation, bro. I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't feel good. We've got to do something about it. With this world becoming easy, this is what's really happened for our generation, right? And this is why we're so behind in many areas now, and we feel this immense pressure and we feel like failures. It's because in our minds, because of social media, because of the internet, this is how we think life is. Look at this. Try to understand what I mean by this, bro, before I give you the explanation. Do you get what I mean by that? You probably don't. Let me do it again. You still don't get it, right, bro? That's fine. That's alright. Look, we want to be financially resourceful. We want to be rich. We want to be successful, right? We want to be a top 1% man. We want to have everything that this world has to offer. And here is us yesterday. Here's us yesterday. Now do you get what I mean by this? Bang. We just want to shoot up. We want everything in our lives to be quick. We want success to be overnight. We want to get rich off a crypto pump and dump. And we feel as though, because of Instagram and social media and YouTube, we feel as though we should be this at the age of 18. And that's created this immense amount of pressure for us to feel like failures and to feel worthless and to feel like we cannot achieve success because we're not that at 18. I want you to understand this, bro. 12. It will take you 12 years to become successful, to become a man that has everything that he wants, to become a man that's accelerated in all areas of life. And this number, to some degree, is subjective, because the more work you put in, the more you get out. The more quicker you could break this number in half. See, I'm going to show you the timeline and how success and our life works as men. Look at this, bro. Here is us, let's just say today now, right? And this is what success truly does look like. So here is us. We're 18 years old. Here we are. Here we are at 22. Here we are at 25. Here we are at 28. Here we are at 29. And then boom, at 30, this is where we're at. We're at the top. We're here. And I want you to understand something. Your life resets at the age of 18. And this is a huge thing for you to understand, bro. Because if you think about it, life up until 18, you go to school, you go to high school, and you kind of just live your life in accordance with what your parents want you to do. And to some degree, right, 18, bro, you're still living under your parents' roof, and they're still, even to some degree, got some hold over you. You can and can't do this and that. Like, 18 is still young, bro. I'm 25 years old, and I can look back at the age of when I was at 18 and think, whoa, I didn't know anything. I was still a child. Like, I actually feel that, bro. And I'll probably feel that when I'm 30, looking back, and when I'm 25 now, I think, whoa, you're still a kid. But this is what's important about our lives as men, is that we truly go through this. We go through something called cycles. And we go through many of these cycles through our lives, right? And this is what a cycle looks like. A cycle looks like this. And let's say from the age of 18 to 22, you're in a cycle, bro. And then from 22 to the age of 25, another cycle. And then 25 to 29, another cycle. Those are just like rough numbers, right, bro? It's not like, that's not the right cycles, but we go through life and you can look back. Think about how old you are now, bro. Go back 2 years. You know different things. You're more mature. Maybe some facial hair has come out. You've gone through life. This is a cycle. And I want you to understand, it's through the trials, the tribulations, it's through the life experience, it's through navigating your life, trying to think more clear and think about what you want, that you will be able to reach that level of success at the age of 30. And you cannot skip through these cycles, because you know what? And I'll say this to you now, bro. Your life takes time. It takes time to get older, right? It takes you 18 years to become 18. It takes you 25 years to become 25. You cannot skip the process. And because we live in a generation right now that wants success just like that, if you are aiming for success to be like that, it's not going to be worth having. Taking shortcuts or trying to skip the process of you developing and you learning is not worth having success, right? You get rich off a crypto pump and dump. Yeah, sure, it'd be nice, right? Oh, yeah. But you wouldn't have learned anything. You'll be a rich idiot. You'll be a rich geek. You'll be a rich bum. Like, it's not worth having. Shortcuts and quick things aren't worth having. Here's a prime example before we get into the most important part of this video, bro, right? Is from the age of 18 to 30, right? Here's 30, here's 18. I want you to look at this. Right? You see the curve. From 18 to 20, there's literally nothing. From 22 to 25, there's a slight little bit of change. From 25 to 28, from 28 to 29. I want you to understand something. This is how life works, is that we work. And then we see no progress. We work. Like no progress, but there's a little shift. What's going on? Work. Whoa, okay. There's a little bit of like, something's happening, man. I might have got this promotional raise at work. My body's looking pretty good. I'm feeling a bit more mature. I want you to understand something, bro. From the age of 18 to 30, all we are doing is making invisible, right, progress. And this is the most important progress that we can ever make in our lives. Invisible progress, invisible results, right? So there's two things that we are making. I want you to understand this. When you go to the gym, you know that you're not going to see any results for a minimum of a month. When you're a brand new gym bro and you walk into the gym, you know it's going to take you 6 months to build up your biceps. It's going to take you a year to get those abs. It's going to take you a year and a half to go through that cut and bulk to look just a little bit bigger. But we still go when the results don't come, right? Because we know the results will come later. Well, this is what I want you to understand about your life right now. As long as you are 18, 19, 20, well, that age number is actually subjective as well, bro, because sometimes we don't learn these things till we're later on in life, but the timeline is still quite the same. It will take you 12 years. You work harder, it might take you less, right? As long as we are moving on an upwards trajectory to the age of 30 and we are focusing on the most important thing in our life, our mission, invisible progress is what we're going to make, and invisible results is what we're going to cultivate. And what I want you to understand, this is huge. You as a young man, like I said, you cannot skip the process of learning what life has to teach you. You're going to be shut down when you go through your first heartbreak. You're going to be broken when you lose a family member. You're going to be stagnant when you lose your motivation or your friends peer pressure you to get involved in drugs or just play games all day. Life happens. But ultimately, bro, if you are moving on an upwards trajectory towards your mission, and I've made a video about your mission. I'll link it in the description. It's a great video. Watch it if you want to figure out your mission. As long as you are moving on an upwards trajectory, and let me clear the board, bro. This is a very important thing now. As long as you are moving on an upwards trajectory, like I said, to your mission, to being successful, to being approximately the age of 30. Again, like I said, the age is subjective because we all start at different ages. As long as you are doing this, you have one sole focus, which is your mission. And here is you right now, bro. Right? You're going to go through life focusing on your mission. But what I want you to understand with this, and this is really, really important. Like I said, invisible progress. We are building invisible results so that one day at the age of 27, we start to see this momentum, but it's taken us literally almost 10 years from the age of 18 to get to, okay, let's just say 18, we'll go 28 here, right? To make the numbers easy. For 10 years, we've been stacking up this invisible progress, right? Invisible progress. But this is where it gets great. This all compounds to that one day, right? Out of nowhere, boom, you just shoot up, and every bit of progress that you were making that the world couldn't see, that you were making behind the scenes, it now starts to show. And this is, again, really important, bro. And I want to highlight this. You as a young man should only be focused on one thing. Like I said, again, your mission, number one thing. But we have all of these things in our lives that we must work on. See, I want you to understand something, bro. We have so many areas of our lives we must be always working on. We've got to focus on our mindset. We've got to focus on our body. We've got to focus on our financial resources. We've got to focus on learning. We've got to focus on becoming more confident. We've got to focus on just really every area of our lives. And this is where we start to feel overwhelmed. But here's the simple solution to you understanding. Is it better to be overwhelmed and making progress to your mission and building yourself up in every single area? Or is it better to go through life thinking that, I can't be bothered. I don't feel like it today. And then when you get to the age of 30, it's not just miraculously going to change. I want you to understand something. From 18 to 30, all you must be doing is making this invisible progress, focusing solely on your one mission, but also understanding that every other area of your life must be worked on as well. And the thing is, right, everything will always be pretty much congruent of one another, right? You're working on your body. Great. So let's work on our mind. You're working on your mind. Let's implement what I've learned to make some money. You're eating clean, so let's go to bed early. Everything will start to kind of fall into place once you start working on yourself. And you will start to realize, right, all this progress that you were making over the years will just out of the blue at 27, 28, 29, after 5, 6 years, just shoot you up to be the man that you want to be. It literally becomes like that, bro. It's like a bell curve. It's just not a bell curve. I don't know why I said that, but it's just like just an explosion of progress, of results after years and years of building yourself. One main focus, your mission, and then everything else is like building blocks to you becoming strong and building up your foundation to be the man that you want to be. So understand this, bro, that our lives truly hit our peak years when we are 30, our mid-30s. And like I said, the numbers are subjective. If you work hard, you can be 27, 28 years old and have everything, or you could be 38 or 40 and then have everything. Of course, the timeline is different. But this is what, again, I want you to understand, bro. And we're kind of going to skew away just a little bit from what I was talking about, and we're going to speak about life now. See, life for us young men at the very moment, like I said, it's pretty easy, but we do have things that arise. We go through a heartbreak, we have cards dealt to us that we didn't kind of ask for, right? Life has been a little bit harder for some of us, right? Because of things that have happened or whatever, bro. But what I want you to understand, and this is a huge thing, like I said, we should always be moving on an upward trajectory, but there are going to be times where this happens, where that happens, and you kind of go stagnant, you kind of go backwards. But as long as you have that main number one goal of your mission, that's okay, because that's life. But here's where it gets important, bro, is that we as men have been skewed to place a lot of emotion on how we feel. And we're going to have more good days than we have bad, right? But our bad days are going to be truly days that can really take away from us. And what I want you to understand, bro, whilst we have good days, right? And we're going to have more good days because life is easy. I want you to understand this one thing. Regardless of how you feel, though, you should never kind of have any bearing on if you're happy, if you're sad, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, if you're just kind of complacent. It doesn't matter how you feel. You should always be striving for this one thing. And this is going to really get you to the point of your life where you're completely set up by the age of 30, is that every single day, right? Regardless of how you feel, happy, sad, frustrated, angry, you must be aiming to make yourself proud. And this is huge, because how you become proud is you win. And you win through conquering yourself. And this is a really important thing, bro. We as young men, we've been told, if you're feeling a little depressed, take a couple days off, take a week off. If you're feeling frustrated, all good, don't do your work. If you're feeling sad, take a day off from this or that, don't go to your job, don't put that work in. Every single day, you must be aiming to make yourself proud by doing what you're supposed to do. Because I want you to understand something. When you build up this level of self-respect because you are consistently making yourself proud, you say you're going to do something, you do it. That is going to create this momentum inside you. And day after day, week after week, month after month, the more you make yourself proud, the more it's going to compound your results to make you the man that you want to be. But similarly, if you always go on how you feel, you're tired, so you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're feeling a little bit frustrated or angry or sad, if you place too much emotion on how you feel, you're never going to create this momentum and that spike, that shoot up feel effect, that compound effect, because you missed too many days. You missed too many hours. So always strive to make yourself proud and don't hold too much weight on how you feel. Because I will say this, bro, it doesn't just miraculously happen if you put in the work. You're just not going to be 27 one day and think, whoa, yes, 28's coming in a year's time. I'm going to have the bell curve happen. It's got bell curve. I keep saying bell curve. I'm going to have the compound effect happen. It's not going to be like that. It has to be worked on for 5, 6, 7 years before you see the momentum shift. And it just shoots you up. So always aim to be proud. Because it's when you're proud of yourself, every single day, it will create that ripple effect, that upward spiral, that boom. I promise you this, bro. The invisible progress, the invisible results you make now will ultimately build you to have the life that you want. So don't get discouraged. Because, like I said, it will take you 12 years. Again, if you work hard enough, it could take you 6 years, 7 years, whatever. If you work hard on that invisible progress, one day you'll be the man that people think, it happened overnight to him. But they didn't see the backlog of success. They didn't see the backlog of all the invisible progress, all the results you made when no one saw. So you have to always strive to make yourself proud and keep winning. See, here's just the last example, bro. Actually, I'm not even going to bother telling you this. Just win. Make yourself proud. Love you, bro. You got time, but don't waste it.